looked like, quote, Xerox copies of each other, and none were registered Michigan voters. And oh, by the way, they were all for Biden. What a shock. Meanwhile, the Trump-Pence campaign put out this statement saying they have filed a lawsuit to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The recount in the Badger State may be over, but the Trump campaign points to so much fraud and abuse that they believe roughly 220,000 ballots would be affected, plenty more than is needed to change the results there in Wisconsin. Also on today's show, the stripping pastor. Why did this California pastor decide to turn his church into a strip club, at least for a moment? We talked to the pastor about it. But first, let's turn to the election. That isn't over yet, by the way. The media says it is, but then again, they're the media. So excuse me if tens of millions of Americans are skeptical. I want to bring in Kelly Ward, the chairwoman of the Arizona Republican Party. Kelly, good to see you, and you're not in Arizona.
Hey, David, I know you can tell I got my coat. It looks like I'm in Michigan, and there's a lot of action happening there, but I'm actually in Washington, D.C. today. Arizona is in my heart. We are fighting for Arizona to make sure that we have election integrity in our state, in our nation, and we save our republic.
Well, I've got to ask you, you're not in Arizona, so you're in Washington for a reason. What's going on exactly? What are you doing today?
Well, I'm going to take a little visit in to say hello to the president, so I'm pretty excited about it. But I do have to pass my COVID test first, so keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm not sick, but those false positives, I hope it doesn't come this.
Kelly, what are you going to be talking to the president about? How did that come about? Did the president want to speak to you about some things, or I know you have a lot to tell him?
Yeah, well, I talked to him yesterday about what happened in right after the hearings, basically, after he called into the hearing in Arizona. He's very disappointed in our governor, so by certifying a fraudulent an election that Donald Trump won, and won by a lot of votes. We like to say he won by a lot of votes in Arizona, as well as in these other contested states. And so we're just going to kind of chat about what's happening in Arizona, what's happening in our country, and how we're going to save this great republic.
What's the latest in Arizona? In other words, what's the battle ahead? The vote technically has been certified, so what now, Kelly?
Well, three things happened yesterday. Number one, I have a lawsuit where I asked for the ability to examine signatures, because the signature verification process in Maricopa County and in Arizona, but mainly in Maricopa County, was horrific. There were about 2 million mail-in, absentee, early vote ballots. Almost 2 million, 1.9 million and some change. And they only threw out about 2,000 of those ballots. We heard testimony yesterday in the election integrity hearing stating that the computer said that there was a very low confidence level of the match of those signatures, and we need to be able to see that. So that's happening. And you mentioned disgusting certification yesterday of this fraudulent election by our Secretary of State, Kate Cox, called Trump supporters neo-Nazis. But unfortunately, our governor got sucked right into that swamp, and he was elbow bumping with her after certifying this terrible miscarriage of justice here in our state and in our country. And number three, we did have those election integrity hearings. We have some strong legislators brought in Trump team, Giuliani and Jenna Ellis and others into Arizona to hear testimony from IT specialists, from poll workers who were observing the process or not being able to observe the process, from security specialists who show how much doubt is on the validity of this election in Arizona. The fight is far from over.
Okay, so Kelly, I heard most of that. I know the connection's not great, but I did want to follow up on something. If you can hear me okay, though, right? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, let me ask you about something in the Arizona Central. This is the headline about Rudy Giuliani and what he was doing out there. They said Rudy Giuliani wants lawmakers to seize Arizona's 11 electoral votes. Is he nuts? What's your reaction to some of that opinion article?
Well, the Arizona Republic and Arizona Central are not known for being truth tellers. Let's just get right down to it. They are part of the fake news media. What Rudy Giuliani, what Jenna Ellis, what the American people, what the people of Arizona want our legislators to do is to utilize their constitutional power to ensure that a fraudulent election is not solidified. So they need send electors to the Electoral College that truly reflect the will of the voters, not the fake election that we saw that was.
So you may have said a little bit about this earlier. Because the connection's not that great, I want to just double check. How many ballots? You're going to have at least access to, what, a few hundred ballots or so from a signature standpoint? Explain this exactly.
Well, you'd like to think it would be a couple hundred, but I get to see 100 signatures that are randomly selected. I hope that some of those are the low confidence signatures that were testified about yesterday. And I get to see 100 duplicated ballots. So ballots that were either torn or had some kind of problem and were filled in by someone else with the intent of the voter. So I get 200 ballots in total out of 2 million. I think it's kind of a needle in a haystack, but hey, it's better than nothing. And if we discover even one abnormality, the judge said that we have increased discovery capabilities.
Do you have any sense at all, Kelly, if the state legislature will actually ultimately get involved out there in Arizona? I know they're trying to do that in Michigan and Pennsylvania and other places. I mean, that would be a bold move, a constitutional move, but a bold move nonetheless.
Well, I think people are elected to make those rules whenever they have to be done. And this is one of those cases. The 2020 election cannot stand the way that the media has called, because it does not reflect the will. I think our legislature will act. I think we're pouring up a lot of vaccines. There are some that are already strong. There are others that are influential and can be educated. There may be a few that are just outliers that don't really care about the Republic, who side with the Democrats more often than the Republicans. And it's going to separate the wheat from the chaff here in Arizona.
So how do you think, Kelly, this is all going to shake out ultimately? In other words, if it goes well for Trump, do you believe that what's going to end up happening is these state legislatures are going to be the ones that are going to have to basically send up Trump electors rather than Biden electors? Or are you hoping the courts will do something instead?
Well, I like that we have a lot of pathways forward to make sure that the election has integrity. There's the legislative path, which our legislators can utilize their constitutional power and their constitution send the right people to the Electoral College. We do have multiple court avenues to explore inside the state, at the federal level, and even all the way up to the Supreme Court. So it's far from over. Everybody still stay buckled up, stay strong, stay fierce, and remember, we are fighting for our republic.
And Kelly, before I let you go, I know it's cold and windy and the connection's not great, but we're hearing most of what you have to say. I want to ask you about what your message to the president will be. I know you won't want to reveal maybe all of that, but at least give us the tenor of what you're going to try and convey to the president today.
I want him to know that there are strong people who are fighting on his behalf in Arizona, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, that we are standing beside him, and we are standing for the rule of law. We are standing for election integrity, and that don't give up. Stand strong. He was put into that office for a time such as this.
And just to clear it all up, because you may have said this earlier, but I want to double check. Was it the president? You were on the phone with the president. Did the president invite you there, or did you ask to meet with him? How did that work out?
I just told him I was in town. He said, well, come on over tomorrow. I was like, okay.
That sounds pretty much like the president that we all know for sure. Kelly Ward, chairwoman of the GOP out in Arizona, who's in D.C. Really appreciate you sticking with us. Thank you so much. All right, she's off of Skype and moving on to, whatever you do after Skype, which is real life. And her real life today is going to the White House and meeting with the President of the United States. And as you heard, the President, and he's apt to do this, he does this quite often, he calls people up kind of willy-nilly and says, what are you up to? What are you hearing? And then he wants to talk to them for a while on the phone. He also wants to invite them in. And that's exactly what happened with Kelly Ward today. So isn't it interesting? Our first guest out of the chute today, meeting with the President of the United States. And actually, now that I think about it, our guest yesterday, Eric Metaxas, also talked to the President of the United States on the phone. He was interviewing someone else, Doug Mastriano from Pennsylvania, state legislator there. And all of a sudden, the president called in and spoke to Eric Metaxas as well. So, hey, you never know what you're going to get exactly on the show. But clearly, Kelly Ward's message is pretty simple. The fight is not over. She wants the president to hear that specifically. She wants wants these Trump supporters around the country to know that. And isn't it interesting that the election officials in Arizona have certified the results? They've certified them in Pennsylvania. They've certified them in Michigan. They've certified them in Georgia. And yet the fight is not over. And once again, that's not analysis. That's fact. Why is the fight not over? Because there are lawsuits pending, and there are state legislatures that are now hearing out many of these cases of voter fraud. And so I thought what was interesting with Kelly Ward there is she's saying there's two paths. A lot of people think, oh, this is going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court and it'll be decided there. Not that simple. Not necessarily the Supreme Court only. It could be through state legislatures, but they would have to be bold for sure. All right, when we come back, Tim Head with the Faith and Freedom Coalition talking about the Senate runoffs in Georgia and the role faith will play down there in the Peach State. We're back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Call or go online to order your very own Giza Dream Sheets and take advantage of Mike's Christmas special. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free. And Mike will extend his money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2021. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long. Call or go online to order your very own Giza Dream Sheets and take advantage of Mike's Christmas special. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free. And Mike will extend his money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2021. Order from a variety of colors and solids and new flannel sheets. And don't forget to get your MyPillow gift card for the best Christmas gift ever. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Order now.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. Georgia is on my mind. Actually, it's on a lot of folks' minds because basically balance of power in the Senate comes down to Georgia. Two big runoffs down there. And when we saw this headline in the Associated Press, and it said this, it said, faith takes the forefront as Georgia Senate runoffs heat up. We said, hey, that's a segment for the water cooler. We've got to get someone on to talk about that. And we found someone, better than someone, if that even makes any sense. Tim Head with the Faith and Freedom Coalition joins us now. Tim, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Hey, this is great. We really appreciate you bringing this to the front of everybody's minds, David. This is a huge deal and a huge time in Georgia politics, national politics.
Well, for sure. I want to talk about that because let's start with the Faith and Freedom's efforts down there. I mean, you guys were on the ground big time in the presidential election, but with these runoffs, and Georgia's kind of like the epicenter in a way for evangelical turnout. So talk to me a little bit about what your plans down there are in these two key races.
So you're exactly right. Georgia has long been one of the kind of epicenters of Christian conservative voters, and no time like the present to demonstrate that. So of the 5 million, almost exactly 5 million voters in the November election in Georgia, as the reason why it's so close right now is because it was almost exactly split 50-50. So about 2.5 million votes for Republicans and about 2.5 million votes for Democrats, with about 7,000 votes separating the two. So of those 2.5 million Republican voters on our file, almost 1.7 million of those are known social conservatives or evangelicals. So that means that almost a little over 2/3 of the vote are evangelical voters, and our task right now is to make sure that none of them stay home. So Christmas is behind us. We're coming up on Christmas. Our Thanksgiving is behind us. Christmas and New Year's are coming up on us soon. Easy to get distracted. Easy for us, for people to kind of get a little bit leery or weary of political activism. But now's the time for us to really kind of push all the way through the finishing line. So we're going to have about 500,000 voters. 500,000 voters are going to get visited by Faith and Freedom volunteers and paid staff here in the state of Georgia. And we also have phone calls being made into the state of Georgia to the tune of about 1 million voters or households are going to get phone calls. We have about 3,500 churches that are distributing voter guides, and so that'll be a little over 100,000 voter guides that'll be distributed in churches. Text messages, social media posts, you name it. We're barraging to make sure that nobody overlooks the voting, which starts on December the 15th.
Tim, let's take a little bit of a deep dive into these two races. You got Kelly Loeffler, the Republican, and you've got David Perdue. Who's got the heavier lift? I mean, what's your sense down there in terms of evangelical turnout? Do you see it as about even, or how is that going to work exactly?
So this is really a convergence of like 3 or 4 stars aligning. Okay, so you've got an unusual situation where Johnny Isakson, the former longtime senator, Republican senator here in Georgia, retired early last year, and so Kelly Loeffler was appointed by the governor to fill the remainder of that term, which is what now Senator Loeffler is doing. She's being challenged by a pastor by the name of Raphael Warnock. So there were 17, a total of about 17 candidates in that race. And then there's a second parallel race that David Perdue, who's the sitting U.S. senator, is being challenged by John Ossoff, a name that a lot of people might recognize from a couple of other failed attempts at running for Congress in Georgia. So 2 parallel Senate races that, interestingly enough, have different dynamics at play in each of those races. David Perdue, in the general that we just finished, the general election we just finished, he was about 7,000 votes shy of tipping over 50%. So he got 49.9% basically of the vote. And he led, or he kind of won that race by about 2.5 points. Mm-hmm. So really, I think that David Perdue is sitting in a pretty decent position. He has to win, but he basically just has to kind of reperform exactly like he did.
But the Loeffler race is interesting because religion, faith has really come up in that, especially with Raphael Warnock being an African-American preacher down there at a very big, famous, if you will, church. And he's come up against a lot of criticism. How much will that hurt him? He said some pretty provocative things, some anti-Israel stuff, also about God and the military and that you can't serve both. How much will that hurt him?
Well, so on paper, there's a lot to like about Reverend Warnock until you kind of start digging into what his actual beliefs are. So when you get past the pleasantries and you start digging into some of the issues that you just enumerated on issues related to national defense, on issues related to Israel, I think the most combustible issue is that he believes, at this point very proudly, pronounces that reproductive justice, as he likes to refer to it as, is a human right and also is supported biblically, which we couldn't believe any more strongly that is an unbiblical position to take. So I think the more that the electorate in Georgia gets beyond just sort of the pleasantries and the veneer, they'll realize that on paper he looks good, but on issues he actually is almost the opposite of what biblical reality is.
Which is interesting because you're dealing a lot with conservative evangelical Christians and Catholics, and Raphael Warnock might be a pastor, but he's coming from a much different vantage point. That makes an interesting dynamic.
Very interesting dynamic, and so to her credit, Kelly Loeffler has. In basically her 1 year in the Senate, she has a very strong voting record. Her rhetoric matches that voting record. She is pro-life. She's supportive of Israel. She's certainly supportive of a strong national defense. Some core tenets that we believe are not only good policy, but also really are drawn from biblical orthodoxy. So we believe that both David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, thankfully, align well with the policy positions of Faith and Freedom Coalition.
About 10 or 15 seconds left. You think evangelicals are the ones that pull them both over the finish line?
Just like we saw in the general election across the country, the core, the bedrock of the Republican Party, ironically, right now, is the faith vote. There's no empirical way around this. When 60% of the Republican Party and almost 40% of the entire electorate in Georgia are Christians, I think that's what makes the difference.
Tim Head with the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Always great to see you again, Tim. I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks so much, David.
All right, that's great. When we come back, Paul Farhi, a friend of the show. We have so many friends of the show from the Washington Post, the media, in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress topper, sheets, and so much more. For example, you get body pillows, regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code. Order now to take advantage of my Christmas special, and I'll extend my money-back guarantee through March 1st, 2021.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows, regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code. Order now to take advantage of my Christmas special, and I'll extend my money-back guarantee through March 1st, 2021. And get your MyPillow gift cards for the best Christmas gifts ever. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Call or go online now to take advantage of Mike's Christmas special. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free. And Mike will extend his money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2021. Order from a variety of colors and solids and new flannel sheets. And don't forget to get your MyPillow gift card for the best Christmas gift ever. Order now.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. We want to bring in, we're going to call him a friend of the show. I mean, I don't know if he considers himself a friend of the show, but we consider him a friend of the show. Paul Farhi, the media reporter from the Washington Post, joining us every week. I mean, I wish we could, I don't know, can we send you something, Paul? A bumper sticker? Thanks for being here.
Lovely food basket would do just fine right about. Thank you.
Okay. Madison, the fruit basket, please, if we could get right. Madison says she's on it. Hey, Paul, let's talk a little bit about what the Washington Post reported this week. This is their headline. They say Biden chooses an all-female senior White House press team. And then, of course, Kayleigh McEnany pushed back on that and said, hey, oh, by the way, she didn't say that. I said that. She said President Donald Trump already has an all-female senior White House press team. So does VP, so does FLOTUS, so does Second Lady. The completely discredited Washington Post once again reveals their blinding propagandist, fake news, productivity. I hate that word anyhow. So many syllables. What is your take on the kerfuffle this week on all of that?
Well, it's a kerfuffle created by Kayleigh McEnany. There's nothing fake news about it. There's no blinding propaganda involved here. The story was accurate. The headline was accurate. Biden has named an all-female communications team. It's not to say that President Trump didn't have women on his communications staff. It's certainly a fact, and it's true, but that doesn't negate the story. And I think she's created a straw man that she is running against and attacking the Washington Post unfairly based on facts that aren't in existence.
Paul, I think the concern, and Kayleigh's bringing up this idea of all-female senior White House press team. She's talking obviously about herself and Alyssa Farah, and even on the president's, the vice president's team, and you can go on down the list. There are women all at the top in senior positions. There are a couple males for sure, but I think the issue, and I'm not going to speak for her, but I'll just say my analysis of the situation is the Washington Post, and not just the Washington Post, but the media outlets typically don't do the rah-rah Trump story, the historic, look at Donald Trump. He's been very, very good with promoting females in his administration at senior staff. We didn't really get those stories much from the media, but here we go with the Biden stories.
Well, stories much because they evolved over some period of time, including 4 years. You'll remember the first press secretary for President Trump was Sean Spicer, not a woman. And eventually he got to Sarah Sanders, he had Stephanie Grisham, and then he hired Kayleigh McEnany. So it wasn't an all-at-once situation. He had several different communications directors, including Sean Spicer. Again, this doesn't negate the current story. Joe Biden is hiring these people from the start. I'd switch the conversation a bit and say, what does it matter? Women obviously are competent to do many different things. Aren't we past the point of worrying too much about whether a man is in a job or a woman is in a job? It's a little bit different, but it's not necessarily in any way dissing the Trump White House for Biden to make the statement of hiring all women to run his communications team.
Paul, I want to switch gears and ask about a real simple question that obviously going to be, we're going to have to dig deeper on it. But, where has the media been in all of the voter fraud coverage? Look, you can't find that Arizona hearing that some conservative networks broadcast. You didn't see it on CNN, MSNBC. You didn't even see it on Fox. None of the major networks are covering this. The Washington Post, the New York Times. It's not even a mention. Maybe it's a line in a story, maybe. But there's no real reporting going on any of this. And my question is, why not? it is news after all. And if you don't, not you, but if the media doesn't believe any of this stuff is going to amount to anything anyhow, and this is just a big circus act, I mean, honestly, with all due respect, so what? I mean, in other words, it's an event that's happening. The Trump legal team is there. That's called news any way you slice it.
Well, it's not called news any way you slice it.
Why not, though? Why not?
Because the news is about facts and putting those facts.
But Paul, real quick, those people that were testifying, they were presenting evidence. It's not the media's job to say whether or not but it's not their job to say if it's true or not. It's a hearing that's going on that's called by state legislators.
Yeah, it's the media's job to find out facts that are in fact true, not to take baseless claims and present them as if they possibly are true. We certainly covered President Trump's statements about the election. We've covered the hearings in which state legislatures have examined these claims. We've talked to all of the secretaries of state. We've covered the legal decisions. None of this stands up. So it's not our job to tell you things that aren't true. It's to tell you the things that are true. And we can't find the evidence to support the claims that are being made by the President of the United States about the election.
So, Paul, there was a U.S. district judge. This is a U.S. district judge. This is not a judge in Podunk, Iowa, anywhere. A U.S. district judge in Georgia who has temporarily put a halt to the scrubbing, if you will, or the clean slate of the Dominion voting system hardware and software down there in Georgia, and they're going to have a hearing on Friday. That's a pretty significant development because, once again, it's a U.S. district judge saying that. But instead, we don't hear any of that in the media. It's just not reported. You have to really search and find it.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You certainly will find that reported. You're just
not in the Washington Post, though.
Arguing about how prominently reported that is and making a bigger deal out of it according to whatever standards you want to apply to it. The fact of the matter is that news has been reported. How do you know about it unless it was reported? What you're simply arguing is that it should have been the lead story somewhere, should have had a big headline somewhere. That's a judgment made by editors, and frankly, I support what the lack of prominence for that story. It's not as big a deal as you're claiming.
But Paul, just to be clear, I mean, I had to break a sweat to find the story. I mean, quite frankly, I mean, I really did. I mean, in other words, you're not getting that. The stories at the Washington Post and the New York Times and others, they were talking about a Third Circuit appeals judge in Pennsylvania striking down a Trump. Look, I get that. That's news. I'm not saying don't cover it. You got to cover that. But the Trump legal victory in Georgia by a U.S. Circuit judge, nowhere to be found in those same papers.
It was covered in those same papers. Again,
I'll have to look at that. Just
not to the extent that you think might be worthwhile. Okay. Listen, editors make these judgments every single day. Yeah. They are in the context of the larger totality of the story. President Trump and his legal team have been getting hammered in the courts. Therefore, there's no reason to believe that this.
Okay. Fair enough. Paul Farhi, great to see you. Appreciate it. Thanks for answering that. I really do appreciate that. All right, we're back in a moment with more show.
When it's cold outside, the secret to keeping feet warm and comfortable is 35 Below thermal socks. They're the anytime, anywhere cold weather socks guaranteed to keep your feet comfy, cozy, warm to meet the demands of your active outdoor lifestyle or just lounging or working at home. That's because 35 Below thermal socks are made from aerospace fabric technology that merges soft fleece comfort with real sock science. From heel to toe, 35 Below has thousands of heat-radiating aluminized threads tightly woven into a breathable, cozy knit fabric that transfers perspiration away to keep your foot dry. Meanwhile, millions of super soft loops surround your foot to cushion and comfort, keeping feet warm. After just 3 minutes standing on a block of solid ice, the foot in 35 Below is a full 24 degrees warmer than the foot in the heavy wool sock. Wear and compare. Bulky cotton socks soak up sweat. Wool socks itch and make feet overheat. But breathable 35 Below socks help keep moisture away and feet warm and dry all day. For work or play, these are the socks you'll wear every day.
In my job, I can be outside rain or snow, and that's why I go with 35 Below to keep my feet warm and dry.
They're so soft, so comfortable. My feet feel amazing.
Whether it's for outdoor days on the go or downtime days when you're relaxing indoors, 35 Below socks are so comfy cozy you'll never want to take them off. They're machine washable, dryer safe, and now 2 pairs of amazing 35 Below socks in gray or black are yours for just $19.99 plus shipping and handling. And wait, as a special bonus if you order now, we'll add a 3rd pair to your order absolutely free. And when you call, ask about the 35 Below Gator with heat-retaining aluminized threads and a triple layer design to keep your neck, face, and head comfy cozy warm. Get 3 pairs of 35 Below thermal socks, all for just $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order your 35 Below thermal socks in gray or black, go online to 35belowthermal.com or call 800-505-2971.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
And welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. All right, when you think of COVID, why don't we put another C word there? Crazy. COVID crazy. People have gone COVID crazy. Look, in California, let me give you an example. You want to go to a strip club, knock yourself out. They're open. There it is. The Washington Free Beacon, California, is set to reopen strip clubs before churches. So, go to church indoors. No, sorry, can't do that. Go to a strip club, knock yourself out. So Pastor Rob McCoy, Godspeed Calvary Chapel out there in Southern California, had a novel idea. You know what? Why not turn the church into a strip club so he can open the church in a kind of funny, joking way? Here's him from about a week ago. Take a look.
Cannot America see the hypocrisy and the stupidity of all this? You're being lied to, and we are finished with your tyranny, and we are going to enjoy Thanksgiving, and we're going to worship God. Open your churches. Go back to church. Open businesses. Take off the mask.
Take off the mask. Pastor Rob McCoy with us now from Godspeed Calvary Chapel. Pastor Rob, great to see you, sir.
You too, David. Bless you, man.
Well, I got to ask you, talk to me about that concept of where it came from and how it all kind of developed. My goodness, and I hope the tie is in a safe place.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm going to send it to you.
Good. Send a FedEx. I'll bill you.
All right. It started, my wife and I saw one of my heroes, Governor Huckabee, on a news program, and he was saying, a pastor should take off his tie and call it a strip club, and that way they get to have church out there in California. Well, we were already doing it, but I thought, I love the way Huckabee thinks, and I just thought, my wife said, you should do that, and I said, okay. So we did it on the Sunday, and I took my tie off, and I defied the governor when he said the church wasn't essential, and we opened the church for communion on Palm Sunday. And then we got a restraining order from a judge that we've been in violation of, and we've been fined. We've been wide open since May 31st. You do all that stuff, and no one really cares. But I tell you what, you take your tie off on a Sunday, and you end up on news programs. It's crazy.
That's right, including this one. Rob, let me ask you a little bit about the way forward there in California. I mean, Gavin Newsom's going backward. I mean, we've crowned him here at the water cooler as King Newsom for sure. As a matter of fact, there you go. We put the crown on him and everything. What's going on out there in crazy California?
Well, you're a little bit more kind than I am. I call him Governor Mussolini. It's complete hypocrisy. The man has dinner at the French Laundry restaurant with 22 people, shoulder to shoulder, no mask. The bar bill was $15,000. It was on our tax dollar. It's a 3-star Michelin restaurant. The appetizers are $400 a plate. That's the average cost of a welfare check for one of the citizens in California. And now he's put us in what's called the perpetual purple zone, where he's locked down the whole state. And it's complete insanity. And he says it's because we've had a rise in positive tests. Positive test isn't a positive case. Mm-hmm. And we already know the tests are weak at best. So positive tests, not positive cases. Here in our own county, Ventura County, we haven't had a COVID death since November 3rd. Our hospitals aren't overrun. We have plenty of ventilators, plenty of hospital beds, but we have all these new positive tests, not positive cases, positive tests. That's not a way to run the state. And though 1/100th of 1% death rate in our county, mm-hmm. that's the IFR, fatality rate. Yeah. Here's the worst part. What they've done to us with their tyrannical measures, they've destroyed our economy. 65% of the restaurants in our county will never reopen. Our abused have to be quarantined with their abusers. Our kids can't even go back to school yet. And we don't have, this is just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And this is what they're doing to us. And it's just stupid. And they say it's based on science. Really? You do a quarantine from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.? What's the science on that?
Right.
Is COVID nefarious only during, the hours of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.? This is complete stupidity, and it's a power grab, and he has violated the Constitution he swore to defend.
Well, Pastor Rob, let me ask you, for people that don't understand your situation, your church's situation, so out in California, if you want to worship outdoors, I guess, knock yourself out, but indoors, no deal? And you've been at the leading edge of all of this.
Yeah, they want to put us outside in the middle of the winter, and that's real healthy. And they violate the First Amendment because they think that a virus that has a 0.05 fatality rate is justification to infringe on our inalienable rights in the First Amendment. We're not putting up with the tyranny, and so we're wide open. We're worshiping the Lord. We don't have masks. We don't do social distancing. We already know the masks. There's no empirical data for masks, no empirical data for social distancing, even if you're following the narrative that the fake media wants to put out there. But we're worshiping God, and we're going to continue to do that. And they can fine us, but they'll never see a dime of that money. They can put us in jail, but they're never going to see a dime of that money.
Where's this going eventually? I got about 30 seconds left or so. How concerned are you as to where this country is headed and what is happening under Newsom and, quite frankly, a lot of other governors around the country?
Liberty isn't man's idea, it's God's idea. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. 2 Corinthians 3:17. If the churches don't open up and start standing upon liberty, like the Apostle Paul said, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty for which Christ has set you free, we're going to be in trouble because the church is supposed to be the moral backbone of this nation. Churches can't yield to this tyranny. They have to push back against it.
Pastor Rob McCoy, great to see you. I'm not going to call you the striptease pastor, even though I just did. But hey, look, you got to start somewhere, I guess.
Hyperbole works.
Pastor Rob, really appreciate it. Thanks for taking a brave front out there. Brave stand out in California.
Thank you, David. God bless you.
All right, appreciate it. Rob McCoy, I've known him for a long time, actually. Salt of the earth guy. Can I say salt of the earth? Why not? Salt of the earth guy out there in California. All right, when we come back, the last sip. We've got a few things to say about Andrew Cuomo. We just talked about Gavin Newsom. But Andrew Cuomo is watching you. If you're at a wedding, at dinner, on a bus, back in a moment.
Men everywhere are now cutting their hair at home. Are you? Introducing MICROTOUCH Titanium Trim, the all-new at-home haircutting tool and precision groomer. Just a trim or a full haircut. Now, cutting hair is as easy as combing hair.
It's the only way to cut your hair by yourself. I don't know how people can do it with clippers. It's impossible. With this, it's way easier.
I did this at home. If you can comb it, you can cut it. Simple.
Titanium Trim reinvents everything with a revolutionary design that positions the blades on the side just like a comb, making it easy to cut your own hair with confidence. Now, if you can comb it, you can cut it. Snap on a comb to dial in the perfect length for your style, long, medium, or short, and just comb and cut for pro-level results at home.
I just pop on that comb and I get a perfect trim every time. I literally can't make a mistake. I can give myself a professional at-home haircut how I like it.
Sometimes I just need a little bit off, and that's what's great about this product. You have these guards, and you just take a little bit off. Okay, I'm good.
Now, if you can comb it, you can cut it. Snap off the comb and edge sideburns and beards, or clear your neck and shoulders with zero irritation. And look, Titanium Trim extends a full 40 millimeters for those hard-to-reach areas. Nothing else comes close.
I thought it was really cool that it can extend. It really helps.
That extra little extension made it so easy. I would never use any other clippers. This is the one to use.
Micro-polished stainless steel blades bonded with titanium, precision-engineered comb attachments, built-in extension handle with a non-slip grip and LED spotlight. Just comb it and cut it with MICROTOUCH Titanium Trim. Order online now at titaniumtrim.com or call 1-800-997-6875.
Nobody can get to their barber as much as they'd like anymore, but now you don't have to.
If you don't have it, you better get it.
The revolutionary, all-new MICROTOUCH Titanium Trim.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $100 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $100 off. Call now.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. Time for the last sip. And this one, here's to you, did I say Mario Cuomo? Sorry, I thought about his father, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. I tell you, he's a piece of work. What's shut down in New York? Pretty much everything. And oh, by the way, you can't have gatherings of 10 people or more in your house. He's fining synagogues left and right. It's crazy. And now we've got a window sticker. It's the 11th guest Cuomo window sticker. It aims to bring humor to new COVID mandates. What do we mean by the 11th guest Cuomo window sticker? Well, let's show you. It is done by the Zoom Buffalo folks. This is on their website. The creepy Andrew Cuomo is always watching you. For anyone that wants to make sure their family only has the proper amount of guests during the holidays, get your Andrew Cuomo 11th guest sticker. That is pretty impressive, pretty creepy as well. And we thought to ourselves, Andrew Cuomo's kind of like everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere, like maybe even in the Oval Office. What if Donald Trump is doing some work and then all of a sudden Andrew Cuomo is there in the Rose Garden behind him? You don't know where Andrew Cuomo is at any point during this COVID experience. I mean, there's more. What about Andrew Cuomo? For example, there he is. He's at Thanksgiving dinner. You can barely see him, but trust me, he's there, and he's by the window for sure. And then, of course, Andrew Cuomo is not just there, but we know he's been concerned about weddings, the Hasidic Jewish community. Well, there he is. He's popping up at Hasidic Jewish weddings. You can see him in the crowd. I don't know if he got an invite. And then, of course, he's monitoring rush hour traffic in New York. He's there in the car looking up at the bus. to make sure, anyhow, good for it. And Andrew Cuomo literally everywhere, and that is a little bit creepy. Anyhow, we're very excited to know that Andrew Cuomo is trying to take things seriously, but let's be honest, it's a bit of overreach on his part. And Andrew Cuomo, how can he be here and there? He's literally everywhere. This is the 11th guest here at the water cooler. Why is he coming closer to me? Hold on for a second. Anyhow, look, I don't need what. This is the water cooler. This pretty much sums up the water cooler. You take a screenshot, and that's us. Back in a moment.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Call or go online now to take advantage of Mike's Christmas special. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. And he'll extend his 60-day money-back guarantee through March 1st, 2021.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call or go online now to take advantage of Mike's Christmas special. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. And he'll extend his 60-day money-back guarantee through March 1st, 2021. And don't forget to get your MyPillow gift card for the best Christmas gift ever.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
Order now.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. That's my new ringtone, by the way. The theme for the water cooler. That's narcissistic. Joining me now, Sophie Mann from JustTheNews.com. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, David. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You always have a story. I mean, not a personal story or a journey. I just mean you have a story to tell me that's going on JustTheNews.com.
It is my job.
Oh, my bad.
So today, the story that I have for you is that Georgia Senate candidate Raphael Warnock, who is, as you know, running in this runoff contest between him and incumbent GOP Senator Kelly Loeffler, who was appointed, has been linked to a new investigation from the Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who's been under some fire recently for some issues about the recount, but he announced Monday that his office is opening a probe into 4 voter registration outreach companies about the way that they conducted their business ahead of the 2020 election. So this one specific company called the New Georgia Project, which was founded by one-time failed gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams a couple of years ago, was until recently run by Raphael Warnock. He was the CEO until February 2020. And this is one of the companies that is being looked at for illegal practices in terms of how they reach out to voters. So specifically what this company is in trouble for at the moment, or allegedly in trouble for at the moment, is sending voter registration applications to people who don't live in Georgia, which is illegal or may be illegal under Georgia state law. So they were sending them to, people like me who I live in New York technically. Yeah. And that is not illegal. I mean, legal rather. It's not legal to do that. And in the past, this is not the first time that this company has been looked at for outreach that is illegal and not exactly kosher in terms of how you get votes during an election. But they've always brushed it aside. Stacey Abrams has, talked about it as more voter suppression tactics. Warnock himself has called it alarmist. He said there's no reason to use the terminology voter fraud, which is a very technical argument against why this isn't true.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, so we'll see what that leads to. But I mean, the interesting thing about this really, from an analytic perspective, is that Raffensperger, who is a Republican, is coming out these past couple weeks saying there was no problem with the Georgia election.
Right.
There was no massive voter fraud. Everything was fine and the recounts are going perfectly. And yet he's also opening these investigations that 100% indicate something else.
Yeah, another notch on the list of complaints by Trump supporters against the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
This Republican Secretary of State. All right, Sophie, great to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, that does it. We're just literally out of time. We would continue if we could, but we can't. See you tomorrow on the show.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress.